Now, Gourmand is a classification that is typically reserved for the colder weather. A lot of times when we think of sweeter perfumes, we associate them with the fall and winter. Well, here are 10 fantastic summer Gourmand fragrances. I'm excited to share this list with you very soon, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I tell you about these 10 fantastic summer Gourmand perfumes, all of these have a touch of sweetness to them, but they're bright and airy and diffusive, and they can all be worn very comfortably in the summertime. I want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, and of course if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would really mean a lot to me. So again, fragrances can be sweet in a variety of different ways. You can have fruity ingredients that are sweet or saccharine. You can have coconut and raspberry, and you can have some more explicitly sweet ingredients like vanilla and caramel and brown sugar, and so on and so forth. So you have a lot of really interesting things happening in these fragrances. So let's just go ahead and jump into the list. The first one by Elemis London is called Trajan. Now, this is named after the Roman emperor whose last name was Trajanus, and this fragrance gets compared a lot to Baccarat Rouge 540, not the extrait, but the original. This fragrance has the saffron, it has the ambergris, it has the amber wood, so it has that ethyl maltyl type of a sweetness in the dry down, but it's super diffusive and it's incredibly long lasting. By the way, every fragrance on this list can be found at Lucky Scent in case you want to sample. This is not a sponsored post by Lucky Scent or anything like that. I just want to make it more accessible for you to find if you're watching it at home, if you're curious about any of the offerings in this list. The next one, I've done a review of this a number of years ago when it first came out. This is called Mercurial Cashmere. Two from the same brand, Elemis London. This has a lot of tuberose and caramel with some brown sugar elements. This stuff is fantastic. So again, if you're looking for something smooth, creamy, but utterly delightful, Mercurial Cashmere is fantastic. Now here's one that I recently discovered by Bodacious the Victorious. This is called Bodacious. Now this one has a lot of cherry in here. There's also kind of like this raspberry ingredient. There's a touch of almond. So it has this fruitiness in the opening. I'm not sure if there's also like a cherry liqueur thing happening in here. It does get compared to Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. One thing that I've noticed about this fragrance in the dry down, it has like this earthy, almost like soily vetiver that I really like. It's probably going to be the longest lasting fragrance on this entire list. Oh man, and it's so deep, so warm, so sensual. Bodacious is fantastic. Again, summertime. So if you're looking for something with depth, with weight, with gravity, that can be worn comfortably in the summer, you got to check that out. Here's a beautiful fragrance with pear and jasmine. And this one is called Villa Primos by Atelier d'Azur. Now, of course, with the gold flakes, such a beautiful presentation, and I love the pink transition on the coloration of the bottle here. I think this brand always puts out some really gorgeous fragrances, and I have so many that I love from Cour d'Essange, and there are just so many that I've reviewed in previous years, and this is a brand that I've been a fan of for a number of years now, but that's a beautiful fruity floral. The next fragrance is composed by perfumer Guillaume Flavigny. I did an interview with him on my channel a number of years ago, and he is phenomenal. This fragrance is honey and ylang-ylang. So it has this tropical aura about it on account of those tropical floral ingredients, but it also has the honey in here, which is so delightful. By the Harmonist, it's called Moon Glory. It's the counterpart to Sun Force, which is another fantastic fragrance. Here we have one by this Australian brand. You all know what it is. I've covered so many of their fragrances on my channel. Goldfield and Banks. This one is called Sunset Hour. There's just something about this fragrance. It's also floral, but it has some fruity touches in the opening. It has this ingredient in here known as guandong, otherwise known as desert peach. So it's fruity, but what I love about this is that this is probably going to be the most diffusive fragrance on the entire list. The longest one is probably going to be Bodacious the Victorious or one of the Elemis, just because Elemis fragrances are all beastly. But this one is going to be the most diffusive. You smell fresh, airy, but there's also that touch of sweetness that I really, really enjoy. So we had two from Elemis. We're going to have two from this next brand as well, because they do Gourmand perfumes so brilliantly. This one also has cherry, like the Bodacious the Victorious. This is called Guilty Crush. But the thing about this one is has a champagne accord in the opening, so it's very bright, bubbly, effervescent. There's a lipstick accord, there's vanilla in the dry down, and then there's also ambrette, otherwise known as muskmallow. So it's a beautiful, unique, quirky, and eccentric, and also sexy and sensual fragrance. Some people, on account of that lipstick accord, it's a little irisy, a little waxy, they might argue that it's feminine leaning. I think it's totally unisex. I'm actually wearing it today and I can't get enough of it. Now the next fragrance from this brand, I was gonna go with What About Pop, which is their caramel popcorn type of a fragrance. Not so good for the summertime. I think it's great for the fall and winter. I had to go with Bon Bon Pop. Now this fragrance, vanilla and coconut, it is amazing. This one also has a sugary feel in the dry down. Bon Bon Pop is a beautiful gourmand, also airy, not as diffusive as a Goldfield and Banks, but it's gonna get you a lot of compliments, especially since vanilla is said to be an aphrodisiac. By BDK Parfum. So there was Rouge Smoking, and I said, oh, I love that one, but do I really need to add another cherry fragrance to this list? I went with Pas Ce Soir. The name for this one translates to not tonight or not this evening. And this is such a beautiful, gorgeous fragrance. You have touches of cashmere wood, if I'm remembering correctly. You have kind of like this smooth, sultry, silky vanilla dry down. And what creates the brightness is there's this fruit in here known as quince. It's a beautiful fragrance. And of course, there's also Pas Ce Soir Extrait, which I don't own yet. I'm hoping to acquire that in the very near future. Very different presentation, different color and everything, but this one is phenomenal. I know the Extrait also has touches of pear in it, so I'm looking forward to trying it soon just so I can get my sort of impression of it underway. But the fragrance in the #1 spot, I am addicted to this fragrance. I have 3 fragrances from this brand, and let me tell you something. This fragrance, it's milky, it's lactonic, it is sweet, there's vanilla, it's creamy, it's starchy, there's tuberose, kind of like mercurial cashmere. You just want to sink your teeth into it. I can't explain it. I wore this recently as well, and I couldn't stop smelling my shirt all day long. I was doing one of these because it's so addictive. The name of the fragrance translates to White Beast by Liquide Imaginaire. This one is called Blanche Bête. Phenomenal. Have you tried this one? I know I've done a video on Homme du Corps and Liquide Gold. Have you tried this one? I'm very curious to get your thoughts. Hey, fantastic. Let me flip it around so you can see the name of it. Fantastic summer gourmand perfumes, all of which are available for purchase or sampling at Lucky Scent. If you're interested, check it out. I don't have any affiliate links. I'm not making any commission on any of these. Just check it out if you're interested. And thank you so much for watching. If you took anything of value from this video, hit subscribe, hit the bell, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment down below. Let me know, what are your favorite sweeter fragrances to wear in the summertime? Thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.